Auzubillahiminashaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, our today's topic is the second part of the past tense. Day before yesterday, we discussed the first part, that is the simple past tense, the structure and the use when we use the simple past tense. Today, we will try to cover the past continuous tense and the past perfect tense, the structure as well as the use of past continuous as well as the past perfect tense. First of all, what actually is the past continuous tense? Past continuous tense is that type of past tense in which the action was ongoing or action was continuing at a particular moment in the past or during a particular period in the past. That means that action was happening at the past time. Action was ongoing, action was continuing at that moment. The action started in the past when we don't know about the time. Here, the emphasis is not the time but the continuity of that action. The past continuous tense is that tense in which the action was going on at a certain moment in the past. And in past continuous tense, time is not important but continuity is important. And the structure of the past continuous tense is subject plus the forms of be plus the fourth form of verb plus the object. In other words, subject plus was in wire plus the fourth form of object, fourth form of verb plus object. Like for singular persons, we use was as auxiliary verb, and for plurals, we use were. While as for you, either act as singular or plural, we always use were. Like, I was watching television yesterday at that time. You were working hard. They were playing a cricket match. They had done their home assignment. Sorry. They were playing a cricket match. I was reading a newspaper. He was he was completing his home assignment. There are much more examples in which you the continuity of the action of the past. In another way, you can say the continuity is important, but in the past. The difference between the present continuous tense and the past continuous tense is that present continuous tense means the action is going on at this moment, while as the past continuous tense means the action was ongoing, continuing at that time, at a particular time in the past. Now, when to use the past continuous tense? First point, an action that was going on in the past. An action that was going on in the past. Like, example, I was writing a letter at 9 p.m. He was watching a movie at yesterday. Or, in other words, in simple words, like yesterday, the movie started at 8 and finished at 10. And in between 8 to 10, that is 9. We generally say, I was watching a movie at 9 p.m. yesterday. That means in the middle of that action. We don't go to the starting time and at the finish time, we just go in the middle of that very time. Like, I was watching a movie at 9 p.m. That is past continuousness. In that moment, in the middle of that very action, we use the past continuous tense. The second very important use, mostly past continuous tense is used in that sense. An action that was in the progress when another action took place. An action that was in the progress. That is the earlier action. When another action took place, that is the later action. That means, in this case, there are two actions. One is in the past continuous tense and another is in the past simple. The past continuous tense action is the earlier action, while as the past simple action is the later action which interrupted the past continuous action. Like when I saw him, he was playing cricket. When I saw him, and in between. For joining these two actions, we either use when or while. I was eating a pizza when he came. I was cooking food when the phone rang. First action is past continuous tense, that is the earlier action, while the later action is the past simple. And we don't use two past continuous actions at the same time. That means I was mm, eating when he came. I was playing a cricket when she came. When she arrived, I was completing my home assignments. That means one is the later action, one is the earlier action, and the other is the later action. These are the two main uses of the past continuous tense. One that was going on in the past, in the middle of that very action. Next, when another action interrupted. One is in the progress, while as the other action interrupted. There are many more examples which you can use for the past continuous tense. Number third, important point, not used. Past continuous tense is not used to talk about repeated or habitual actions in the past. Repeated, which we use repeatedly, continuously, or habitual actions. Habit also means which we use routinely, daily. We use simple past for this. For example, I rang the bell many times, not I was ringing the bell many times. I rang the bell I rang the bell many times, not I was ringing the bell many times. And for stative verbs, we don't have progressive forms. Stative verbs. And I also mentioned in the present progressive tense. Now in the past continuous tense also, stative verb, that verb, we just provide a state, not the action. And they don't have the progressive forms. Like verbs expressing opinion, taste, like dislike, hate, like, love, prefer. Like I like chocolates, but I dislike something. Not I was liking, but I am disliking. Otherwise, it's totally wrong. I hate people who cheat. Not I am hating people. इसी तरह जो है verbs of perception, hear, see, taste, smell. I am hearing, I am seeing. Just I hear the sound of water. The dish tastes delicious. Same thing for thinking verbs. These are all stative verbs. Believe, doubt, feel, know, realize, remember. I think you are right, not I am thinking you are right. I realize, not I am realizing. I understand, I doubt, not I am doubting, I am understanding. These are all stative verbs, and we should always remember that stative verbs don't have progressive forms. This was just all about the past continuous tense. In nutshell, past continuous tense is used when the action was in progress while the other action takes place. Point 1. Point 2. When the action was in the middle of any point, like yesterday I was watching a movie, yesterday I was watching a serial. The serial started at 7 p.m. and ended at 8 p.m. I will say at 7:30 p.m. I was watching a movie. Yeah, I was watching a serial. That is past continuousness. That means in the middle of that very action. Now the next is, that is past perfect tense. Past perfect tense. Now what is past? We generally say the past perfect tense means perfect itself means complete. Past perfect tense is used to express an action completed before a certain moment in the past. Perfect expression is used to express an action completed before a certain moment in the past. Like the patient had breathed before the doctor came. Before the doctor came, the patient had already died. That means the first action, earlier action, that is the patient had died. And another action before the doctor came. That means one action has been completed, after that another action took place. While as in the past continuous tense, one action is in the middle while the another action took place. Now the structure of the past perfect tense. Subject plus had plus the third form of the verb plus object. And also we use two actions, and for those two actions we also use to join those two actions for we use before and after for separating these two actions. One completed and another took place. Example: I had completed my home assignments. I had completed my home assignments. They had finished their exams. They had finished their exams. Now the uses, the main uses of the past perfect tense. The very first use is that the past perfect tense expresses action in the past before another action in the past. It is also known as the past in the past because both the actions are used in the past. The past perfect tense expresses action in the past before another action in the past. That means there are two actions, both are used in the past. One past perfect and another past simple. One another action, that is the earlier action, that is used as the past perfect, while the another action, that is past simple, that is used as the later action. Like when we arrived the train had left. We just create a situation like yesterday the train left at 9 a.m. We arrived at 9:15, and we generally say when we arrived the train had left. When we arrived the train had left. And at the same time, like the flight, the flight the time of the flight was 9 a.m. yesterday, and we reached at 9:10. We generally say when we reached the flight had left. He had slept before he come back from the market. Before he came back from the market. The first action, he had slept. That is the earlier action. Before he came back from the market, that is the later action. The later action would always be as the past simple, and the earlier action is the past. Same is the case in past continuousness. The earlier action would always be as past continuous, while as the later action would always be as past simple. We had completed our match before she came. That means one action has been completed and another action took place. The next use of the past perfect tense. The past perfect is often used to express unfulfilled wishes, unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled conditions, unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled wishes. For example, I wish I had worked harder, but I didn't. We just have unfulfilled wishes. I wish I had passed that test. I wish I had worked harder. I wish I had been there at that time. Unfulfilled condition. If I had worked hard, I would have passed the test. If I had reached on time, I would have achieved a lot. And also, I wish I had completed that test. That means there are many examples in which we often express unfulfilled desires, unfulfilled wishes. And one more example for past perfect tense, that is, it started raining after he had left. It started raining after he had left. After he had left, that is the earlier action. It started, that is the later action. That means when we join these two actions, we often use to combine these two actions, we often use before and after. While as in past continuous tense, when we combine these two, past continuous and past simple, we often use when and while. When and while. I hope to somehow we give something regarding the past continuous tense as well as the past perfect tense. Thank you.